Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome, all of you. We will have a short discussion on faith through aspiration. That is the topic of discussion for right now for this session. Faith through aspiration. There was a beautiful message from the mother. People from Rajnagar, it is belonging to Kendrapada district. They were eventually every time, at every moment, they were suffering from the sea storm. That was in their language. It is Luna, means it is salty water was rushing inside their village. It was very tremendous scene. Every time they will be suffering like anything. Their lifestyle actually changed. All the entire their vegetables, their plantation, their farming, agriculture. It was disastrously wasted, and they had no other way. They could not survive. So there was a beautiful prayer from these people. Somebody told to write to the mother so that you will get some relief. And there was a prayer from them to the Divine Mother, and the mother had a nice message: keep faith and endure, everything will be all right. So, we are going to have a discussion on faith through aspiration. When we talk of the aspiration, a couple of lines will quote from Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo quotes, all sincere aspiration has its effect. Aspiration, we must aspire intensely but without impatience. Intense aspiration is the rule, but thing is that is the need, but it must be without impatience. There is no need of words in aspiration. No need of words in aspiration. It can be expressed or unexpressed in words. No need. The intensity of aspiration brings the intensity of experience. Experience comes through aspiration, and the intensity is well related, proportionately comes. The intensity of aspiration brings in the intensity of experience, and by repeated intensity of experience the change comes. So we are going to have what mother has really said on faith through aspiration. A question was put to the mother. Can one have faith through aspiration? That was the question being put to mother by somebody. One sadhaka asked, can one have faith through aspiration? Mother quotes, what? Faith through aspiration? I think so. Mother quotes, because it is rare to have it spontaneously. Spontaneously, this aspiration and through aspiration faith, it is rare occasion, rare to be born with it. And but very few people have this good luck. Mother quotes, it is a good luck, and very few people have this good luck to have spontaneous faith. Spontaneous faith, it comes in rare occasions, and very lucky people. Mother quotes, good luck. Very few people have good luck to have the spontaneous faith. But if one is very sincere in one's aspiration, very sincere in his aspiration, in one's aspiration, one gets it. Mother tries to evaluate and explain. Aspiration can bring everything. It must be visualized, it must be taken care, it must be understood truly. Aspiration can bring everything provided it is sincere and constant. It can do everything for you, but the condition is that it must be sincere and constant. One always has a teeny element of faith within its oneself. Definitely it is there. Nobody can deny. Even you can't ignore it. But this quantity is very teeny. Teeny element of faith within oneself. Whether it be a faith in what one's parents have said, or through books what they have studied. Anyway, the faith is there. They hear, they learn, they read, they listen. Anyway, a little amount of faith is inside them. After all your education is based upon a faith of this kind. All your education is based upon a faith of this kind. Wherever you go, whatever you read, there is a strong description that the faith is, so that faith is developed. Those who have educated those who have educated you have told you certain things, stories, gospels, whatever is there, good sayings, it is there, it is taught. You had no means of checking because you were too young and had no experience. When you were continuing your study, when you were going through, when you were listening everything, when you were experiencing, that time actually there was no need of checking, because you were too young and inexperienced, not much experience, no experience. But you have faith in what they told you, then definitely you know. Even if I will give you an example, suppose your teacher is teaching 5 plus 2 is 9. Then if your, even if your mother and parent they tell, they explain, no, it is a wrong, 5 and 2 are 7, the addition, the total will be 7, then you will not believe, because you know, she is the teacher, and she is teaching, whatever she is teaching is right. Even if you are much more qualified, much more accurate, still then does not matter. These people, the child, they feels, he feels that you, when you are busy in your cooking and housekeeping, so you know nothing about education much. So people who are involved in teaching, like their teachers and all, whatever they say 5 plus 2, it may be taken for granted without inquiring, without checking. So but you have faith in what they told you, and you go forward on their faith. But here one in one that faith, but here you have read something, you have experienced something, you have heard something, so through that, so that faith is there, and you go forward with that faith. So everyone has a tiny bit of faith, mother course, tiny bit of faith, may not be so much enlarged, so great, so big, but a tiny bit of faith is there. And to increase it, one can use one's aspiration. That is what is required. So mother course, what, how shall we really go, how shall we go, mother course, a child like faith, that was the requirement, a child like faith, like that we are moving. What are the conditions in which there is a descent of faith? Faith has to descend, it is on the top, it has to descend into you, up to you. How it is, what is the criteria, what is the medium, how can it descend? Mother tries to explain. The most important condition is that almost childlike trust. As the child believes, trusts, has faith like this. So it is almost a childlike trust, the candid trust of a child who is sure that it will come. Then definitely, if you, somebody is, one child is sleeping and one kid is sleeping, he even if he is not that much mentally, intellectually that much confident, but knows that my mother will come and take care of me. When someone child is returning from school, he is sure that my mother will be preparing food for me, and there is no doubt of it. So it is there that childlike faith must trust of the child who is sure that it will come, who does not even ask himself about it. He is sure. Does not matter what has been cooked there, but actually he is sure that it will be done. When he needs something, he is sure that it is going to come. Well, is this kind of trust, that is indeed the most important condition. Trust, that must be important, and that is there. So, before going to this question answer, we'll have only two lines, two quotations from Sri Aurobindo on trust. Mother Sri Aurobindo quotes, trust the divine power and she will free the godlike elements in you. She will free the godlike elements. Free means it is bounded, it is inside us. Shape all into an expression of the divine nature. So trust the divine power. For that, you have to trust the divine power, and she will free the godlike elements in you and shape all into an expression of the divine nature. Again, about the trust, Sri in the course, he abandons not those who have trusted him even ignorantly. Even ignorantly, they who have trusted him, he abandons it never. So, mother tries to explain on childlike faith. Mother quotes, to aspire is indispensable. There is no other go. You have to aspire. Aspire, that is indispensable. But some people aspire with such a conflict inside them between faith and the absence of faith. There is a trust. There is actually some duality, contrarity works on them. People aspire with such a conflict inside them between faith and absence of faith, trust and distrust, between optimism, which is sure of victory, and the pessimism which asks itself when it is when the catastrophe will come. So do we within two contrariety people normally hang over. They to aspire is indispensable, but some are there. They aspire, but actually in that aspire some aspiration contrariety works between trust and distrust, faith and absence of faith, the pessimism and optimism. It will be done then, or it will be a catastrophe will come. But now, if this is in the being, you may aspire, but you don't get anything. Contrary there. So, aspiration you will be doing, you will be aspiring, but result is very meager. You may not be getting the true result. So, what you say, and you say, I aspired but did not get anything. How? In one side you are open, on the other side you are opening to the reverse, just contrary force. One side you are opening to the divine force, another side to the hostile force. So that time you complain. I aspired but I did not get anything. It is because you demolish your aspiration at the time by your lack of confidence. Lack of confidence, for that you lost. Then what we have to do? What I need will be given to me. If I pray, I shall have an answer. That confidence is there. What I need will be given to me. If I pray, I shall have the answer. If I am in difficulty and ask for help, the help will come. So that confidence will be there. If I am in difficulty and I ask for help, the help will come. If I pray, I shall have the answer. Whatever I need, that will be given to you. And not only will it come, but also it will manage everything. It will come, manage, it will carry out, it will lead, it will solve your problem, it will answer your question. Everything is solved. Then, if the trust is there, spontaneous, candid, on questioning still in the course. If the trust is there, how it works, what type of trust, how the flow is will be spontaneous, candid, and unquestioning. Spontaneously it will be coming, and candidly, and of course unquestioningly. So, if the trust is there, spontaneous, candid, and unquestioning, it works better than everything else, because there is no bondage. It is not coming out of impulsion or compulsion. Nothing is there. It acts better than anything else, and the result is marvelous, because it has come spontaneously, candidly, and unquestioningly. Only for that purpose it has come. It has come for that particular with a particular vision, for that purpose. So result is marvelous. The mother quotes again, it is with the contradictions and the doubts, if that exists, two things. One is contradiction, and the second is doubt. Normally, we are enveloped with these two formidable enemies. Contradictions and enemies of the mind, that one spoils everything. With these contradictions of the mind, everything is spoiled. With this kind of notion which comes when one is in difficulties. Oh, it is impossible. I shall never manage it. And if it is going to be aggravated, if this condition I am in, which I don't want, is going to grow still worse. Belief is not there. You are thinking on a contrary line. Then, of course, the result will be still worse. That, like, I will try to quote it again before you. Oh, it is impossible. I shall never manage it. Third, it is going to be aggravated. If this condition is I am in, then result will be worse, still worse. If I continue to slide down further and further, if like this, so many ifs, I will be questioning like this. So what will be happening there? Like that, and if just the condition will be there like that, and one builds a wall between oneself and the force, builds a wall between oneself and the force one wants to receive. If you create a wall, that contrariety, that unwillingness, it is there. You create a wall among between you oneself and the force one wants to receive. So mother quotes everything. Now the solution, if many ways you quote, many questions, many conditions, many criteria, but the solution, the psychic being has this trust, not the mind. Only the psychic being has its distrust. So it has its wonderfully. and without a shadow, because it is psychic aspiration. It works without a shadow, without argument, without contradiction. So these are the another three things mother quoted. It is there how it works. Psychic being has its this trust wonderfully, without shadow, without argument, and without argument, without contradiction. And when it is like that, everything relates to the psychic being. There is not a prayer which does not get an answer, no aspiration which is not realized. So as long as we are staying in mind, in mental phenomenon, mental agreement, the things will be getting worse and worse. But once this psychic is there in front, you will get the result as quick as it is possible. Marvelous result. Definitely you will have your solutions. I'll quote a number of couple of lines on faith. Sri Aurobindo, faith quotes here. It is from Sri Aurobindo. Faith fights for God while knowledge is withheld. Faith fights for God while knowledge is withheld. Again, even an intellectual faith must always be a worker of miracles. Man demands miracles, only miracles, mother quotes. Man demands miracles that he may have faith. He wishes to be dazzled in order to that he may see. That is the problem, that is the criteria for which actually he is getting barred. This vision is not that much visible. So faith is a necessary means of arriving at the realization. For realization, faith is a must. It is finally it is faith that cures everything. Finally, it is faith that cures everything. So faith is a thing that precedes knowledge, not comes after knowledge. Nothing. Faith is something different. It is unrelated. Faith is the soul's witness to something not yet manifested, achieved, or realized. Faith does not depend upon experience. It is something that comes before experience. Beautiful topic. I think it will be necessary while pursuing in the integral yogic process in the path. Vande Mataram.